Manager is the senior vice president of the Ford Motor Company. He was planning to see if he had chosen the wrong person today. The man standing austerely in front of him is actually the leading racer in the country, Ken Miles. He was hired by Ford to help build a whole new racing car. The car will compete against Ferrari in the year 1966 at the World Endurance Championship, the Le Mans 24-hour. Some time ago, Ford wanted to buy Ferrari. The vice president of Ford Company came to negotiate in front of Ferrari president Enzo Ferrari himself. The Ferrari president did not hesitate to reject Ford's offer, which he considered silly. The vice president returned and added fuel to the fire, speaking badly about the Ferrari president to the president of Ford. He said Enzo Ferrari was not dealing with Henry Ford, but only Henry Ford's representative. The Ford chairman hated most people saying that. Therefore, he immediately decided to find the best engineer and the best racer. Regardless of the cost, they must create a better car than Ferrari. At the same time, in the Le Mans 24-hour, it must be far ahead of the Ferrari. This important task fell into the hands of a car designer, Carroll Shelby. Shelby was also an excellent driver, but for health reasons he was forced to retire and could not continue to race. After Shelby took on this task, the first person he thought of was Ken Miles, because in his view, no racer could be better than Miles in this world. Miles is currently operating a small car garage. He understood every part of the car like the palm of his hand. If he participates in the racing car design, the new car can be safer and more secure. Miles also did not reject Shelby's offer. Anyway, now he is in need of money, and the Ford company is certainly not short of money. The two were very quick to negotiate about cooperation, but Miles did not expect that just taking his son Peter to see the Ford's car announcement ceremony would also lead to criticism by this Ford vice president before many people. Miles did not even want to talk to him. He directly took his son out to look for Shelby. But the way Shelby appeared in this place was a bit special. He flew in on a plane to the scene. The vice president was still trying to approach them, showing intimacy to ask for types, not expecting Shelby to directly introduce Miles to him. "We seem to have met each other before. So, yeah, I will take Peter to drink something. Good luck." Shelby told Miles to test drive the Ford GT40 Mk1 at the Los Angeles International Airport that evening. But when Miles tested 2 laps, he very quickly discovered the problems with it. It was really bad. The wheels were unbalanced. The third gear was too high. It didn't grip the road moment to moment. Steering was loose because the car was too light. Over 225 kilometers per hour, it felt like a plane. The next day, Miles tested the stability and speed of the car. He told Shelby to change the entire engine. Shelby immediately followed what Miles said, lightening the engine by 23 kilograms using a completely new technical case. Miles is constantly testing, constantly giving them advice. But he did not know that the senior vice president was putting pressure on Shelby. He does not allow Miles to participate in the competition because he thinks Miles is not an ideal racer. He doesn't follow discipline nor respect a senior leader like him. Regardless of how Shelby tried to persuade, this senior vice president wanted to replace Miles with someone else. Shelby is extremely disgusted with leadership like this, but he had to report this bad news to Miles. He has a premonition. If there is no Miles, this race will definitely end in failure. As expected, in the first race, Ford's racing car finished far behind the other corporate cars. The Ford chairman called Shelby to talk. Shelby spoke frankly to him. The main reason for failure is because the company's operating structure is too rigid. Reporting something must go through at least 24 layers. He has absolutely no space to develop and no way to voice his opinion to the chairman. These words of Shelby led the vice president to be removed from the case so that Shelby could control everything. Fortunately, the chairman agreed to this request. So everything that happens next will let Shelby be in charge of the whole project. Shelby once again invited Miles to return to work with him so that Miles could continue to be the main racer for Ford. Miles didn't hold on to the past annoyance. Once again, Miles tested the developing GT40 Mk2, but it was that night that the GT40 Mk2 encountered a problem. Fortunately, racing suits are insulated. Miles successfully opened the car door. It wasn't too serious. This accident made everyone more cautious than ever. But while they were busy improving the car, the vice president was busy competing to regain control. He brought the chairman and tried to regain control. Because he didn't want to let his trick achieve its goal, Shelby directly locked him in a room. Then he invited the chairman to try the improved GT40 Mk2. This is the top dollar car, which Ford Motor Company had spent tens of millions of dollars to upgrade. Since the chairman that car, the feeling of incredible speed gave him no intention of stopping. Shelby deliberately drove aggressively on the track. He wasn't trying to threaten anything from the chairman. He just wanted him to feel a bit how the GT40 Mk2 they improved had become peak. The chairman then decided to let Shelby continue to control the project. This is not a machine that anyone can enter and control easily. Definitely like that. I did not know that. He wants to win Le Mans 24 hours. If he really wants to win, wants to beat that champion, only Ken Miles can bring it to him. Because Miles could now continue to participate in the competition, Shelby even told the chairman that if Ken Miles did not win the Le Mans 24-hour race, then he would take his whole company and leave. Seeing Shelby value Miles so much, the chairman also agreed not to let the vice president participate in this case anymore. Miles successfully participated in the race. This is the 24-hour Daytona race. At the race, after 6 hours, Miles led the whole team. The driver behind Miles, Walt Hongen, wanted to overtake, but Miles didn't give him that chance. Miles wanted to push his car to 7,000 RPM, but a man with passionate love for control, the vice president, did not allow him to do so. Seeing Miles being left behind, Shelby decided to ignore the vice president's command and told Miles to do his own thing. Okay. Miles pushed the car to 7,000 RPM per minute. This is the limit of the race car, but it is not his limit. Miles constantly ran past the cars in front of him, but before that he had been left too far behind, so now wanting to catch up to the lead, he faced many difficulties. But Miles has no fear. The more challenging it is, the more he feels excited, thrilled. Miles rushed forward at full capacity, directly catching up with the leading Ferrari car. He pushed up the RPM to 7,500 per minute. Miles now passed the Ferrari. Miles successfully took the leading position. His wife and children at home felt extremely proud. The crowd was also happily cheering for him. Only the vice president looked dark, really not wanting Miles to win. Because Miles doesn't respect him, doesn't know how to act respectfully towards him. So he hoped Miles would fail representing Ford in the racing. More than seeing the scene of Miles winning glory for Ford, the company he is part of. Miles didn't know the guy's bad thoughts, or he couldn't think at that level. Tomorrow is the last match. Miles couldn't sleep. He went to the new arena and found Shelby also here. Shelby and he are both creators of the GT40. That car wouldn't work without either of them. Therefore, both sides understand each other at this time. Miles entered the racing track. This is his normal habit, going to the first corner of the race. When you first learn it, you see how the road ahead will curve around. The next day, all the riders entered their positions. The call declaring the race began to ring. They immediately ran to their corresponding cars. Miles quickly sat in the car, but when he closed it, the door didn't latch. He couldn't care so much at the time. Hey, all other riders had already started. He could only let the door stay open like that. The new Le Mans 24-hour race had just begun. The driver of the Ford car suddenly discovered that the car door could not be closed. He watched the cars behind him pass one by one. Miles's face was even blacker than car tires as Ferrari's riders moved ahead. Ford's chairman couldn't see his car. When Miles's car finally rushed forward, everyone saw the car door problem. Oh, are you kidding me? Guys, quickly avoid a side. Get out for me. Keep it. Go away. After solving the door problem, Miles could finally be assured to join the race. He returned to the road, keeping his eyes on all the cars in front of him. Miles cleverly wore glasses to shield from the sun. He completed a lap with a record speed of 3 minutes 34 seconds. But just one lap isn't enough. He was too far behind, too far away. Miles continued to speed up, but at this time the vice president was so agitated about it. Shelby, he's forcing the speed so strongly. That is not the plan. The plan has changed. Miles wasn't thinking about that at all, completing another lap at a speed of 3 minutes 31.9 seconds. The speed of 229 kilometers an hour pushed the car beyond its limits. The 24-hour Le Mans race requires drivers to switch. While Miles rested, he kept his teammates' spirits up when they received the car. During the race, a fire took place. Ford's chairman sat in his helicopter using binoculars. But Ferrari's chairman kept standing in the observatory, waiting for his warriors to return. In the evening, when Miles went out on the track, it was heavy rain. His vision was almost completely blocked, but he still based on the taillights of the car ahead to see the shape of the road. Miles continued to accelerate. He was trying to chase the Ferrari in front of him, but a racing car stopped him. He was trapped and could not move. Fortunately, in the next moment. Did you face get crushed, my son? Dare your father? Ha ha ha. Miles chased the Ferrari ahead at maximum speed. He and the Ferrari driver were running at extreme speed. Miles discovered sparks emitted from his tire. He was too eager to win. After stabilizing, he didn't dare to stop. The car was braking poorly. Miles could only drive to the pits for repairs and brake replacement. The Ferrari had now led them by a lap. Everyone is racing against time. Shelby told Miles, to defeat Ferrari, Miles needs to pass him twice more. Miles kept repeating this sentence. He accelerated like crazy. At dawn, he finally passed the Ferrari once. Now, just once again, he could win the championship. Everyone is waiting to see his wonderful performance. Miles's face now also revealed a serious expression. He was getting closer and closer to the Ferrari. The driver in the Ferrari didn't understand why he smiled. He also started accelerating, determined not to let Miles pass him. Because to beat Miles, the Ferrari driver directly pushed the car speed to the maximum. He thought he was very sure, without doubt. Miles just passed the Ferrari driver like that. Even he himself could not believe it. He was about to win first place at the Le Mans 24-hour race. The moment Miles shone on the track, everyone applauded to congratulate him. But the vice president made a proposal at this time to the chairman. "I'm thinking like this, Mr. Ford. It would be great if all 3 Ford cars passed the finish line at the same time later." Ford's chairman felt what he said was very reasonable. To improve the company's reputation, he pressured Shelby. The Ford company asked Shelby to obey the command, but Shelby felt the victory was in the palm of his hand. It wasn't necessary to share the achievement with others like that. Shelby felt very conflicted. He brought this to Miles. But Shelby also told him accepting or not is his choice. But because he didn't want to make Shelby's position difficult, when it was near the end of the race, he still slowed down and waited. 2 other Ford cars caught up behind. Miles and them rushed towards the finish line. The reputation of Ford Motor Company was strengthened. But this champion is not the racer Ken Miles. Because when he reached the final destination, another Ford car passed a little faster than him. Miles just gave the champion position that was his own to others. His eyes showed confusion and loss. He did not lose to his opponent. He lost to the Ford Motor Company. After this match, Miles continued to cooperate and work with Shelby. But only 2 months after that match, while testing the J car at the Riverside International Raceway, Miles once again encountered brake failure and was killed in the accident. When smoke and fire rose together, Shelby turned to Peter, Miles' son, not understanding why. If at that time he hadn't told Miles the requirements of the Ford company, Miles would have become the person who won both the Daytona 24-hour and Le Mans 24-hour championships simultaneously in history. Ken Miles was a good racer. Excellent. Unfortunately, he did not meet a good company that respects the spirit of sport. The story ends here. What do you think about this movie? Leave your opinion below so I know. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and watch my other videos. Bye.